जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी भक्ति जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की श्रीमन महाप्रभु की श्री श्री गौरदाय की श्रील प्रभुपाद की समावेत भक्त वृंद की कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Thank you. Good, Mridanga. Very good. Thank you. I will display a verse, okay? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Please all of you repeat after me. You see the verse on the board? Is it coming? I have to connect, I think. Parasparanukathanam Pavanam Bhagavad Yashaha मिथोरतिर्मितस्तुष्टिर् निवृत्तिर्मिथ आत्मनः परस्परानुकथनं पावनं भगवद्यशः मिथोरतिर्मितस्तुष्टिर् निवृत्तिर्मिथ आत्मनः परस्परानुकथनं पावनं भगवद्यशः मिथोरतिर्मितस्तुष्टिर् निवृत्तिर्मिथ आत्मनः Any of you? Parasparanukatanam Pavanam Bhagavad-yashaha Mithoratirmitastushthir
Nivrittirmitatmanaha
Nivrittirmitha atmanaha Parasparanukathanam
Pavanam Bhagavat Yasha
Pavanam Bhagavad-yashaha
Mitoratirmitastushti
Mithoratirmitastushthir
Nivrittirmita Atmanaha
Nivrittirmitha atmanaha
परस्परानुकथनं
Parasparanukathanam
पावनं भगवत्यशा
Pavanam Bhagavad-yashaha
मितोरतिर्मितस्तुष्टिर्
Mithoratirmitastushthir
निवृत्तिर्मित आत्मनः
Nivrittirmitha atmanaha Parasparanukathanam
भगवद्यशः
Pavanam Bhagavad-yashaha
मितोरतिर्मितस्तुष्टिर्
Mithorathirmithastushthir
निवृत्तिर्मितात्मनः
Nivrittirmitha atmanaha Anybody one last? You can give it to the little girl. She answered last time many questions. Huh?
परस्परानुकथनं
Parasparanukathanam
पावनं भगवत्यशः
Pavanam Bhagavad-yashaha Mitho
मितोरतिर्मितस्तुष्टिर्
Mithoratirmitastushthir
निर्वृत्तिर्मित आत्मनः
Nivrittirmitha atmanaha Paraspara mutual Anukathanam discussion Pavanam purifying Bhagavat of the Supreme Lord Yashaha glories Mitaha mutual Ratihi loving attraction Mitaha mutual Tushtihi satisfaction Nivrittihi cessation of material miseries Mitaha mutual Atmanaha of the soul. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Can you please repeat after me? One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, They feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Purport. According to Srila Sridhara Swami, those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness should not envy one another or quarrel among themselves. Giving up all such mundane feelings, they should gather together and chant the glories of the Supreme Lord for mutual purification. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has pointed out that glorification of the Supreme Lord is especially potent when performed in the association of pure devotees. When devotees engage in Sankirtana, chanting the glories of the Lord together, they experience the highest transcendental bliss and satisfaction. Thus, they encourage one another to give up material sense gratification, which is based on illicit sexual connections with women. One devotee will say to another, "Oh, you have given up sense gratification. Starting today, I shall also give it up." One should learn to increase one's love for the devotees, to satisfy them, and to give up sense objects unfavorable to serving Krishna. And one should learn to view the entire universe as paraphernalia for the Lord's service. By engaging the objects of the senses in Krishna's service, one automatically becomes detached from them. And as one passes one's days in the association of Lord's devotees, one's transcendental ecstasy increases more and more through discussions about the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, one who wants to be free from the harassment of Maya in the form of sense gratification must constantly associate with pure devotees of the Lord and who have no engagement other than chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord and carrying out his mission on earth. Srila Madhvacharya has pointed out that just as one should cultivate friendship with devotees, one must cultivate a spirit of friendship towards the demigods who manage the universe on the Lord's behalf. Thus one should live peacefully within this world. Hare Krishna. It's a very beautiful verse. So we welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning at ISV. We are very much missing the holy association of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. Currently he is taking yatra in India, I heard. Nevertheless, my dates of visit this time happened to be like this. But remembering him and praying at his lotus feet for his mercy, I will try to say a few words. I was planning to speak this morning on the topic of Guhyam Akhyati Prichati. Where does this word come? Anybody knows? Nectar of? Nectar of instruction. Which is the verse? Anybody knows? Yeah, fourth verse. Dadati pratigrihnati guhyam akhyati prichati bhunkte bhojayate chaiva shadvidham priti lakshanam. Very important verse. So, this verse says there are 6 ways by which one can increase the loving attraction between devotees. Now, the very first question is, what is the need for developing Priti Lakshanam? Priti means love. Lakshana means symptoms. So, Priti Lakshanam is symptoms of love or 6 ways, he says. So, what is the need of that? Because in the Bhagavatam itself, it is said, I'll just show you one small chart. Who is this? Who are these 2 people? Krishna and Sudama. And they developed Priti Lakshanam also between one another. How did they develop? All of you please repeat this. You want Sanskrit or English? Is all right? English? English? Okay, yeah. Vayam brisham tatra mahanilambubhir nihanyamana mahurambu samplave disho vidanto taparasparam vane grihita hasta paribabri maturaha. So Krishna is telling, Vayam means we, you and me. Krishna and Sudama is saying. Krishna is speaking to Sudama. Brisham tatra mahanilambabir. Brisham means very powerful, very great hailstorm. Came once in the forest. At that time, Mahurambu Samplave, the water started flowing like a river, crossing even almost beyond the hip. So much water in the forest. And we both were sent by Guru Mata, Sandipani Muni's good wife, to fetch some firewood from the forest. And we got stranded in the forest. Disho Avidanto, we lost our direction. And I was calling you, hey Sudama! And you were calling me, hey Krishna! And we could hear each other's sounds, but we could not see each other. We were lost. And then after loudly calling each other's names, and then at last we got to meet each other. Parasparam Vane. And once we met with each other, we became very happy. You feel secure when in a jungle you are not alone. You are with one more. And as soon as we came close to each other, what we did? Grihita hastaha. We caught each other's hands. Paribabri maturaha. Mathura, our mother, Guru Mata had given a duty to us to bring the firewood. So one hand we were catching the firewood, another hand we were catching the hands. So the firewood represents the mission of Guru, service to Guru. Instead of firewood, you are all carrying books on your shoulder, isn't it, for distributing books? Because books are a converted form of tree only, isn't it? So you are carrying the Guru's mission on your shoulder, and with the other hands, you are catching each other's hand, which means that is Priti Lakshana, loving friendship. So, in the path of spiritual life, two things are very important. Cultivating loving friendship with devotees on one hand. On the other hand, while cultivating that friendship, in that friendship, we should execute Guru's mission. Sometimes what happens in the course of executing Guru's mission, one may become so busily preoccupied, they may tell other devotees, Prabhu or Mataji, I have no time. And I am busy running here, running there, I am doing the service. Somehow I have to preach and expand, or I have to distribute so many books, or I am super busy. Many times in trains and flights you find people sitting with their mobiles, correct? All the time they are busy. They are sitting next to each other, but they don't even look at each other also. They don't even ask each other's names also. Chanakya says, Nikatastopi duram, he's saying. Durastopi nikatam. Two things he has said. Although somebody may be touching your body, sitting next to you, they may not connect with you at all, they are connecting with mobile. Correct, no? Similarly, in the same home, sometimes two people are sitting in two rooms and, sending WhatsApp messages to some friend far away. And they are not feeling connection to each other. They are feeling connection with somebody across the globe. They may connect with somebody like that because they have attraction for them because they don't know the actual person. Isn't it? On the other hand, there is a person right next to them, they may not connect. So therefore, here it is said, Grihita hastaha paribabri matura. See, they are catching, see the right side picture. Krishna and Sudama are catching each other's hands. But on the other hand, what are they having? Firewood. That represents the mission. Not that in the name of friendship, they are just throwing away the firewood and dancing together. No. They are carrying firewood also. One should also, both are important. We should bring some results for this moment, because Prabhupada wanted us to distribute books. At the same time, in the name of bringing result, we cannot become dried up devotees. If we run dry in the heart without any loving relationship, juice arising from loving relationships, then we cannot go on for a long time. Just like somebody says, sorry, I have no time to put petrol in the vehicle. I'm just going to go on driving. Yes, you can drive, but after some time, petrol will run out. At that time, you have to stop the vehicle and you will be in trouble. You'll be stranded in the middle of forest and you won't have any petrol. You can't tow the car also there. So therefore, in spiritual life, many times those who are super busy, suddenly they find themselves at the edge of a burnout sometimes. And they feel, I haven't studied Shastra well, I haven't met devotees and spent time, and I have no friends. They feel a bit lonely, and suddenly they find them. Is there someone who cares for me? Is there someone who will talk to me? Like the people look around suddenly. So because they have not invested any time in cultivating friendships, and we can't cultivate friendship with million devotees. It's not possible. With a handful of devotees, all of us, by dint of providence and by Krishna's arrangement, we are all put in some particular project, some particular geographic location, and we are surrounded by devotees, and we should have at least 2, 3, 4 some friends, other devotees with whom we associate with. So there was one family, one Mata, who was telling that when she came to a community, she felt very lonely because she came from another community to this community, one community. And then she was feeling a little lonely. So later on, when the temple, she connected with a few ladies and they started an online Bhagavatam study. Daily 20 minutes they started. And now she got 8 friends now. These 8 ladies have become very thick now. Now they meet in the temple, they make garland together, they make jewelry together. Now when they go to market, they go together with some of the friends. Or if they have to go to doctor, one lady takes another lady to the doctor. Like that, they have become very close with each other now. And that Bhagavatam study gave a platform for them to connect. Correct, no? Like that. So some people are introvertish. Due to being introvertish, they are afraid to talk to anybody. They are mostly with themselves. But they also have emotions which nobody knows what's going on inside. But they don't know to express and take help from others. But even such people, if they come and study Bhagavatam study circle, so in Pune we call it as a sport, we call it. Srila Prabhupada online reading team. That's called sport. Join the sports. Sport team. So when they join the sport team, they become sportive devotees. Then they don't feel morose or they are not feeling lonely. So in this way, Krishna and Sudama were strongly connected. So when does such emotional bonds between devotees develop? When there are some struggles they undergo together. Like these fellows, Krishna and Sudama in the forest, they were undergoing a struggle together. There is a fear that it's pitch dark, it's night, moonlit night, and we are away from home and there is no way you can go back in the night. They were stranded in the forest. Next day morning, their guru came, Sandipani Muni. He was worried. What happened to the children? Next day morning. So, see, constantly besieged by the powerful wind and rain, we lost our way amidst the flooding waters. We simply held each other's hands and in great distress wandered aimlessly about the forest. This is another example of Krishna clasping Uddhava's hands affectionately. Because Krishna here is very thick, they both are thick friends, Krishna and Uddhava. And Uddhava is also a great devotee of Krishna. Vrishninam pravaro mantri Krishnasya daita saka, like that it said. Shishyo brihaspate sakshat Uddhavo buddhi sattamaha. I think this is in 11th canto. You will read this verse, I think. Very nice verse. Vrishninam pravaro mantri means amongst the mantris in the Yadu dynasty, Uddhava can be considered the topmost mantri. Nobody matched to him. Because whenever Krishna needed expert advice, he would consult whom? Uddhava only. And he would do Guhyam Akati Prichati with Uddhava. Call Uddhava. For example, at one time, Krishna got one letter from the kings who were put in the jail of Jarasandha. So the letter said, my dear Lord, we are all stuck in the jail of Jarasandha for decades. And our bodies have become emaciated. We have lost our luster. I think we have to die in the jail only all our life. We are all kings from different provinces. But Jarasandha seeing that we are all fighting with one another. He took advantage of our fighting and captured us and put us in the jail. And we are all running out of any energy in the body. We are all going to die. But before we die, we want to have a beautiful darshan of you. So if it pleases you, please kindly save us. So they wrote a letter. And at the same time, another letter came through Narada, who came to give invitation for Rajasuya Yajna to be held by Yudhishthir Maharaj. That letter had come also. So Krishna was wondering, two invitations, where to go? Any of you felt that difficulty sometimes? Same day, 2 marriages. So, and both marriages are 10 to 1 in the morning. What will you do? So you go to one marriage at 10 o'clock, stay for 1 hour and go to the next marriage. Isn't it? So that before that ends, you join there and you decide out of the two which is more important. And so that you will be there for the exact muhurta for one, and the other one you can also go. So sometimes we also are indecisive. When we are indecisive, we need somebody to guide us. So Krishna was wondering what to do. So when Krishna told about these 2 news to the Yadus, like Pradyumna, Aniruddha, they were all jumping. They said, wow, wonderful opportunity, let us fight Jarasandha and finish him. They said, please give us the order, we are immediately ready to go. Krishna said, wait a minute, I appreciate your spirit. But like Chanakya says, your spirit may be great, but you should also know the strength of the other person. So Krishna said, wait a minute, let us consult someone. Then he called for Uddhava. And he told Uddhava, Uddhava, you are the most intelligent. You tell us what we should do. So Uddhava gave advice. Uddhava said, you see, Jarasandha has 21 Akshahinis. 23 Akshahinis, I think. 23 Akshahinis. Army, huge army. It is not intelligent on our part to fight with him in a big battle because sheer number alone can overpower our army. So we should not go for warring against somebody. It would be foolishness, he said. Then the Yadus understood, okay, then what we should do? Should we go for one-on-one duel fight? Then Uddhava said, there is only one person who can kill Jarasandha. Who is that? Bhima. And Bhima also cannot kill alone. He will need the guidance of Krishna. So Bhima and Arjuna and Krishna, three of you should go. But you should not go as Kshatriyas to fight with him. You should go as Brahmanas. Dress up yourself like Brahmanas and go and approach him, meet him, and request him for charity. And what charity they requested? Fight. So that's what you should do. Then Jarasandha will surely agree. He is very fond of giving charity and he will give the charity of fight. And then mostly Jarasandha will choose whom to fight with, combat? Bhima. And then Bhima will fight, but Bhima has raw strength, but he doesn't have skill. Therefore the skill should be supplied by Krishna. And then when Lord supplies the skillful idea, then Bhima will finish Jarasandha. So, and then Krishna asked, so should we go to fight with Jarasandha now? Or should I go to Rajasuya again? He said, first you should finish Jarasandha, he said. Why? Because as long as Jarasandha survives, Yudhishthira Maharaj cannot go ahead with Rajasuya Yajna because he has to conquer all the kings of the world. That's what you should do. So Krishna said, just see what expert advice. So Uddhava gave Uddhavo Buddhi Sattamaha. Buddhi Sattama means he is super intelligent, Uddhava. And he is Shishyo Brihaspati Sakshat. He is a Shishya of whom? The Guru of the demigods. Brihaspati was his Guru. And amongst the demigod disciples, Uddhava was the topmost. Brihaspati glorified him for his understanding and talent. So, although he was a very learned Pandita, Uddhava, great in Shastra, he is actually Krishna's cousin. So, he also had a bluish complexion and similar looks like Krishna. But he was a pure devotee of Krishna. If you read the 11th canto in Uddhava Gita, you will see what amazing verses Uddhava speaks in glorification of Krishna. Tasmad bhavantamanavadyamanantaparam sarvagyamishwaram akunta vikunta dishnyam nirvinnadi rahamughe vrijanabhitapto narayanam narasakam sharanam prapadye. I am not going to tell this verse. If I go into the meaning, the class will be over today. But I'm just giving you a reference. You go back and I'll give it as a homework to you, okay? How it begins? Tasmad bhavantam anavadyam anantaparam. Somebody can locate the verse number and tell other devotees. So, yeah, Tasmad 11, 7, 18. 11, 7, 18. Homework. You'll do the homework? Okay. Each word is explained in their purport. Tasmad bhavantam anavadyam, ananta, param, sarvajnam, ishwaram, akunta vikunta dishnyam. Each word is explained in the purport. Yeah, that's the verse. It is 11, 7, 18. 11, 7, 18. So, that is Uddhava has spoken this verse. Amazing verse it is. So, he is giving reason why he is accepting Krishna as his master. Why is he taking shelter of Krishna? You hear from this intelligent person why we should surrender to Krishna. Most intelligent personality. Vrishninam pravaro mantri Krishnasya Daita Saka. Daita means very, very dear. You want to know how dear Uddhava is to Krishna? One day Krishna told Uddhava, Uddhava, you are more dear to me than Brahma and Shiva. You are more dear to me than Lakshmi also. You are more dear to me than even myself also for me. See, for all of you, who is most dear? The person whom you see in the mirror. Correct, na? So we are all very dear to ourselves, isn't it? He says that you are more dear to me even more than myself also. In the one of the Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, in the 4th canto, Chakravarti Thakur says that Lakshmi ji once told Lord Narayana that, my dear Lord, you told not only Uddhava is dear to you more than Shiva and Brahma, you told Uddhava is dear to you more than me also. That means I am not very important for you. Lord felt very shy. I should not have spoken this. Somehow the news has reached the ears of Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is telling, please keep your hand on my head and bless me so that I also become a great devotee one day. That's what she is telling. Sometimes this is one problem in glorifying devotees. You glorify one devotee and the news reaches another devotee. And the devotee says, hey, you glorified that devotee for 10 minutes and you glorified me only 8 minutes. People compare like that, isn't it? So, in this way, Uddhava is a very special devotee. And here you find Krishna is calling Uddhava one day in his palace in Dwaraka. And he is clasping his hands, you can see in the picture. And he is telling Uddhava, I have a very special assignment for you. This assignment no one else can do. Only you can do. Why? Because the Vijayapasis are all, feeling the fire of separation from me. Their hearts are burning, remembering me, my mother, my father, the gopas, gopis, cows, calves, everybody in Vrindavan is in tears. I have promised them that I will come back, but I am unable to go back because of too many duties in Dwaraka. So, I have a request for you, is that you go to Vrindavan and I am going to give you a message. Take this. He gave him a chit. Only one line only he wrote in that. And the beauty is, what line he wrote is not said in the beginning. After the entire Uddhava's message to gopis, everything, that time you will come to know what he said. You know what Krishna wrote in that line? He said that, since I am present in the heart of every living being, oh dear gopis, I am never separated from you. That's all. That's the only thing he wrote. But Uddhava gave 3 months lectures on that one line. His Uddhava's purports. He gave 3 months, he spoke to gopis on that one line. So Krishna told Uddhava, I am very sure if you go and meet the Vijayapasis and give them assurance that I will very soon come back, and then talk to them, they will be pacified. And then you come back and tell me how they responded. See, Krishna is such an intelligent Lord. Don't think he just wants Uddhava to go and give the message. He has another plan, which he will reveal to Uddhava later. What is it? In the Bhagavatam it is said, later on Krishna will tell Uddhava that in the north portion near Himalayas, Himalayan range, there is Badrika Ashrama, correct? There is Badrinath, Kedarnath. In the Badrinath, there were many rishis living there. And these rishis had given an invitation to Krishna when Krishna was in the planet. Krishna could not go to meet them. So Krishna told Uddhava, these rishis living in that spot of Badrikashram, they know all religious principles. They are the purest of the Brahmanas. They are very exalted. They are also my devotees also. They are exalted devotees. The only thing they don't know is Vraja Bhakti. Spontaneous, loving, devotional service. They don't know that. They know Vaikuntha Bhakti, they know. But Vraja Bhakti, the nature of Vraja Bhakti is Raga Bhakti. They don't know. And I want you to go and teach them that. But before you teach them that, I want you to go to Vrindavan and come. Why? That is a hidden confidential message, because even you have to learn Vraja Bhakti. Therefore you go, get each one teaches one while being taught by one. Who can say that? Yeah, that means you get taught by Vrajavasis and you then go and teach the saintly people in the Badrikashrama. That way, it's like, in one stone you get two mangoes. One is not two mangoes, three mangoes. I'll tell you what is it. One is the Vrajavasis will be pacified, Uddhava goes. Correct, no? Plus, Uddhava will also get an upgradation in his realization of Krishna Bhakti. He is a very great Krishna Bhakta. I told you how dear he is to Krishna. Still, because of his scholarship, because of being a very greatly learned scholar, Krishna wanted him to taste the simplicity and innocence of the Vrajavasis. He said, let this fellow get a direct perception of this. Go to Vrindavan and experience. His heart will melt in ecstasy when he sees the Vrajavasis. So, Krishna, that is the second reason. One reason is to pacify the Vrajavasis. Second reason is to educate Uddhava in the Vraja Bhakti. Third is to educate the Badrikashrama rishis. So that they will not miss Krishna. Although Krishna said, I am unable to go personally there. But if you go and educate them, they will get what is needed for them the most. So, in this way, Lord does many things in one shot only. So here you find he's clasping the hand of Uddhava and speaking to him confidentially. It's called as Guhyam Akyati Prichati. So, Guhyam Akyati Prichati means, inquiring confidentially and hearing from an experienced person. That is called as Guhyam Akyati Prichati. We will explain more about that. Of course, this is Krishna Sudama's service was so pleasing to Guru. Guru glorified them. That is another topic. I will not get into this topic. He is blessing them, you see, because they rendered service together in friendship. Tushtoham bodvija sreshtaha. Everybody? Satyah santu manorataha. Chandam sayatayamani. Bhavantiha paratracha. Tushtoham. Oh, my dear disciples, Krishna and Sudama. Oh, best of the Brahmanas. I am completely satisfied with your dealings with one another. When the spiritual master sees that two disciples are dancing together, they are sharing prasadam together, and they are smiling at each other, then Guru's heart becomes completely peaceful. Now I have no worry. In this, I am leaving behind the mission of Prabhupada in the hands of disciples who are non-envious, who are non-quarrelsome, who are friendly with one another. They are innocent like children. So I am very peaceful, I am very satisfied. Then that satisfied Guru gives blessing to the disciples, and those disciples advance very fast in spiritual life. And on the other hand, when disciples become envious of one another, sometimes, one big disciple comes to Guru and says, Maharaj, he's like that, he's this, like that he speaks. And then, please, you tell him, you explain to him. Then the Guru calls the other big disciple. Both are like two elephants. And then this disciple, he says, hey, please understand that devotee, please don't do this, he is very disturbed with you. Maharaj, he has told you one side of the story, now I will tell you my side. You hear. And both are making Guru chutney in between. Then could Guru be peaceful? Once Prabhupada told the story, one guru was lying down and two disciples were sitting on either side massaging the feet. So one disciple told the other disciple, do you know, I have got a degree in massaging. Nowadays they have a massaging course also. I have gone to the university and I have got a degree in massaging. So therefore you see how I massage the feet of Guru. You are a novice, you don't know anything. You work on thumb rule. Then the other fellow said, see, I got training from my grandfather in the village, he said. And that, another day Guru told me that your massaging is so relieving to my body. I got appreciation from Guru. You are only a degree holder, you know only theory. I know practical, he was saying. So in the course of the dialogue between one another, both the guys got very angry, they were fuming at each other and quarreling with each other. So then this degree holder got annoyed. He said, you are insulting my degree. So he pinched the other feet. Then that other fellow on the other side, he pinched this feet. And Guru jumped up. He said, Arey, you guys in your quarrel, I am in trouble. Correct. No? So Guru becomes very pleased when he sees disciples are non-quarrelsome and non-envious. When they are happy. So I have seen many times my spiritual master. One time, Shruti Dharma Prabhu, how many of you know from London? Very famous, isn't it? He came to Bombay. So Maharaj called Shruti Dharma Prabhu. He called me and he put both of us tightly embraced like this. He said, Radheshyam, you are very strict disciplinarian. You are known for rules, regulations and strict behavior. You emphasize on character, you emphasize on strict attendance and punctuality and all that. And here is another great personality, Shruti Dharma Prabhu. He said he is known for dealing with biggest leaders of London, and he is such a loving heart he has, such a spontaneous affection he shows to people. He said, anybody who comes to Bhaktivedanta Manor, it's a one-way traffic, they cannot go back. Once they connect with him, they are gone. They have to be with him lifelong. He's such a loving, caring, spontaneous Vaishnava. So he said, I am rubbing both of you together so that you get what he has and he will get what you have. So, same thing he did with me in Slovenia. There is one President Ananta Prabhu. Maharaj caught him also and embraced me. So, the way I was telling you, Guru feels very great joy if devotees actually learn from each other. They are in a mood of always open-minded for learning from one another. And also sometimes Guru may call one of the disciples and ask, what do you think about the other devotee? And if this devotee is able to profusely glorify the devotee without any interruption, you can glorify, he will watch, how much can you glorify, let us see. Because you cannot glorify for a long time unless your heart is clean. If you have some inhibition, we may glorify a little bit and then we'll get, shut up, we won't be able to. Like there are so many people who do a lot of prajalpa, blah, 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 they're chatterbox, You tell them, Prabhu, wait 1 minute, I have one question for you. Can I glorify Krishna, Immediately, as if you have put a band-aid in their mouth. They cannot speak one word of glorification of Krishna. So, if we are envious, we cannot glorify. Not possible. Or our glorification will be artificial. It will be superficial. Or it will be glorification of some superficial abilities. So therefore, in this purport we read, it was mentioned that Vaishnava means we should be non-envious and non-quarrelsome. That was the first part of the purport, which I explained. And when Guru sees that, he becomes very pleased. See, the Guru is blessing with both hands. He's telling Krishna Sudama, Tushtoham bo dvijasreshta. I am very pleased with both of you. Satya santu manorat. May all your innermost desires be fulfilled. What is the innermost desire of the soul that we express to Tulsi Maharani every day? Isn't it? What is that? Maurya Vilash, Vilas Kunja Diyovas, Nayane Heribo Sada, Yugala Rupa Rashi. That's the innermost desire. When will the time come when I will serve the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, offer them betel nuts, offer them a garland, offer them chandan. When will I behold their beautiful forms and serve their lotus feet? So this innermost desire will be fulfilled when Guru is pleased. Yasya prasadat Bhagavad prasada. Guru becomes very pleased. So Guru is pleased with them. Satya santu manorata is saying. And one more blessing is giving them. Chandamsi ayata yamani bhavantviha paratracha. He is saying that whatever learnings you achieved through the lectures, through the hearing and all that in the classes, may that knowledge be ever fresh for you. Even after many decades. You spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years also in Krishna consciousness. Still the knowledge you learned from Prabhupada's books, if it is enlivening to you, if it is thrilling for you, if it is touching your heart and making you relish it and repeat it, that means you are blessed by Guru. So here Guru is blessing, because sometimes what happens, material commodities and spiritual commodity have two opposite qualities. Material commodities, for example, you cook something in the morning, in the evening it will be stinking, it will not be good, it gets spoiled. A flower is blossoming in the morning, evening it's a dried up flower, correct? You cut an apple and keep on the table, it becomes oxidized. You will see that. If you keep a knife on the table without use for a week, it gets rusted. You will see that. That's the nature of material world, to degrade. Fresh things don't remain fresh. They become dull. Even very handsome looking people, when they get old, when teeth are gone and eyes go into the socket and ears are hard of hearing, wrinkles come in the body, the beauty is no more there. Because the beauty is lost over a period of time. So the nature of material world is, the freshness is only for a short while. Exactly like when you take a branch of a tree, cut it and bring it here and put it. It will be fresh only for a short while. Because it is Bhinname Prakritirashtada. It's a separated energy from Krishna. Therefore the freshness doesn't last for a long time. In material world, if anything is ever fresh for all time, that is only spiritual items, you will see. For example, your attraction to the deities, day after day, month after month, year after year, you dress them, worship them, decorate them, and you're dancing in front of them. You never get tired of doing that service. Similarly, you're chanting the holy names of Hare Krishna. We may all wonder, actually, Hare Krishna is boring, it's becoming difficult for me to chant. But imagine if somebody, you are caught by some enemy country, and they snatch away your bead bag and say, now we have a rule that if you chant Hare Krishna, we will kill you. Then it will be very difficult for you to not chant, correct, no? Even when some of those Russians were put in the jail, the bead bags were snatched away. And then when the bread came, with the bread they made beads. And then with that they were chanting, correct? Same in Australia also, some devotees were caught by the police and they were put behind the bars. They asked Prabhupada, if you want to come out on bail, they are charging very heavy amount. Prabhupada said, why should you come out? Really, only the president was allowed. President was allowed to come out on jail. All others were 10, 15 devotees were in the jail. And they didn't know what to tell Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada said, wherever you are, chant Hare Krishna. Then in the jail they started Mangalarti. And everything. See, there is no altar, nothing is there. But everything, they did like Manas Puja. How? For example, one devotee will just do the hand like this. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ki. And all of them will offer obeisances. And then there's no Mirdangam, just move the hand, they'll move. Mangalarti, Samsara Davanala, they would sing like that. And one devotee will be doing Arati like this. And everybody else has to assume that the Lord is there. Like that. And they assumed the Tulasi Maharani also in the middle, and they circumambulated Tulasi, they watered Tulasi, everything in the mind only. And all the other people in the jail were amazed by this new technique of worship. Everybody. And many started chanting Hare Krishna. So much so that even the policeman, when he has to go into the jail, he would leave his shoes outside and go inside. And all the thieves started becoming Hare Krishna. So the police people became afraid. They said, hey, release these people as soon as possible. This happened 3-4 places in the world like this. Devotees practicing Krishna consciousness inside the jail. So, but why did I say this? These are blessed devotees or not? What do you say? They're blessed. So, you will see that if Guru is pleased, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado. When Guru blesses the disciple, the Krishna consciousness it'll be ever fresh. So the reason I told you this was, if somebody snatches away a bead bag, you will cry. Because without chanting, it's not possible for us to live our life. That goes to show that you indeed love chanting. But our difficulty is due to the anarthas. When anarthas are clear, the chanting will become more and more relatable. Similarly, we are studying Prabhupada books. Like, one man came to Pune. I speak one lecture monthly once called Krishna Rasayanam. I was about to begin. Some 300-400 people were sitting. 2 hours we do program. So one man came straight to me. Sir, you are the speaker. I want to ask you, what is the pastime you are going to speak today? I said, Krishna Sudama. Oh, that I already heard when I was a small kid. He said. I said, hearing as a kid is not the same as hearing from Bhagavatam verse by verse. And that too, different speakers may give different perspectives, isn't it? Different realizations and everything. Same pastime you can hear any number of times. This is not like a read and throw novel. Bhagavatam, see, Bhagavata Purana is one of the oldest Puranas. But we keep it in the altar, we shower flowers, you have made an altar for the books because it's a very sacred thing, holy thing it is, isn't it? And also it can be read again and again. Newspaper you buy in the morning and evening it will go to the dustbin. It has no value. Because the news that newspaper carries has no more value than that. Whereas Srimad Bhagavatam, every day you can recite one verse, like today we are reciting one verse. And it can be recited for millions and millions of years to come because it's a divine thing. If somebody is not able to see divinity in Bhagavatam, he has not achieved the blessings. He has to find out how I can get the blessings of Guru. So I will develop taste for Bhagavatam. It's called as Vasudeva Katharuchi. How does that Katharuchi come? It comes by Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirthani Shevanat. Bhagavatam itself tells the secret. Human reasoning fails, Prabhupada writes. How a person, who is the average person in society, developed such a strong taste for Bhagavatam, such a strong attraction for the Lord. Common people cannot understand. That has come by the blessings of Guru. So these 2 boys were blessed by Guru. That this knowledge you are deriving in the ashrama, that will be ever fresh for you. Bhavantviha paratracha. He's saying, in this world and in the next, you will always be blissfully Krishna conscious. Like that. In this way, Krishna is remembering. Now, Sudama is speaking back to Krishna. Shri Brahmana Bhuvacha Kimasma Avir Nirvrittam Deva Deva Jagat Guru Bhavata Satya Kamena Yesham Vaso Guru Rabhut. What could I possibly have failed to achieve, O Lord of the Lords, O Universal Teacher, since I was able to personally live with you, whose every desire is fulfilled at the home of our spiritual master. So here Sudama is expressing his gratitude for Krishna's association. I was personally able to live with you, and you are called as Apta Kama. You have no desire to be fulfilled. Your desires are always fulfilled. In the home of the Guru, I was so fortunate to get your association. Imagine you joined a Gurukula, and in that Gurukula, 20-30 students are there, and one of them happens to be Krishna also. And you are also his classmate. Isn't it? It's a good idea, Krishna being your classmate. How wonderful it will be, isn't it? So that's what he was cherishing. How blessed I am that you are my classmate and I could have loving exchange with you. So any devotee, in the formative years, we all get association with some young devotees in the early days. And it produces such a deep impression, it is very difficult to forget. Even after you pass 50 years also. You cannot forget. Those impressions have. That is why we should find out for the new upcoming devotees, those who are new devotees, how to give them powerful equal association and senior association and positive spiritual impressions that they will cherish for a long, long time to come. One interesting phenomenon I will tell you for the senior devotees who are preaching. The secret I will tell you. First 3 years, if you take very good care of a devotee in the formative years, and even if they go to some other place, they will keep on talking about that relationship lifelong. Wherever they go, you will see that. Because they will say that this devotee gave me the book, This devotee taught me, this devotee cared for me, and that just keeps ringing in their hearts. That means you produce a positive impression. In the same manner, in the first 3-4 years, you produce some negative impression. That also they will talk. They will say that, oh, this person, my Lord, dangerous fellow. I was saved from this fellow by another person, they will say. Correct, no? So, therefore, the equal devotee impression and the senior devotee impressions that people carry, it makes a very deep imprint. Later on, even though sometimes they have to meet the same people, they will be formally respectful, but in their moments of truth, as we say, in the intimate dealing with others, they will reveal some of the unpleasant exchanges they had also. So therefore, we all should try to give good experience for one another. Correct, no? When we are growing in devotion service. So that everybody will have some very valuable spiritual moments to cherish in their hearts. Because by cherishing those moments, you can, that's what he says, no, mito ratir, mita tushtis, nivrittir mita atmanaha, he says. Mito rati means they develop a mutual attraction for one another. You try this, when say 8 or 10 devotees come for studying Bhagavatam together, you sit in a circle, you study. And then when you read a paragraph and then every devotee speaks out some realization, some questions, the other devotees who are watching this devotee, they will say, wow, this devotee has so much conviction in Prabhupada. Huh? This devotee has so much determination in spiritual life. Huh? This devotee is, always able to have the good habit of sleeping early and rising so early in the morning. Look at this devotee. As soon as I found some fault with another devotee, this devotee immediately was plugging the ears. He cannot tolerate any fault finding. Huh? He's such a pure soul. I never knew he's such a pure soul. Huh? So in this way, you look at other devotees' good qualities and you start admiring. And that produces affection for them. So respect, admiration, gratitude, affection, all these qualities arise in our heart. We call it as a raga formula. Huh? You remember this? Respect, admiration, gratitude, appreciation. Admiration is here, appreciation is here. Huh? Admiration is in the heart and appreciation comes out of the mouth. And you have gratitude for the association of devotees and respect for the devotees. These are increased. And when these things are increased, this is where you are going to cultivate the spiritual feelings. Huh? Many of us want to know, how does it feel like being a spiritual person? Actually, for spiritual experience, we need Priti Lakshana. So, otherwise, if we don't have respect for devotees, if we don't admire one another and appreciate one another, the mundane exchange with people is very painful. It is not at all pleasant. Like Ati Parichayat, Avajnat. One time, His Grace Kaunteya Prabhu came to Pune. And he gave a Bhagavatam class. And after the Bhagavatam class, we all surrounded him and I profusely glorified him. What amazing deep realizations you brought out, Prabhu. I have never heard such a lecture ever before in my life and everything. So he smiled and he said, can I tell you one truth? He asked me, yes. He said, when you hear from an occasional visitor, it is always like this. Yeah. And you hear from a local preacher, somebody whom you regularly know, but you cannot appreciate like that so much. And the reason he told was, we see the local devotees with an eye of fault finding. We know that, I know this devotee. This devotee is lazy. That devotee is crazy. we have such notions with us. With that notion, as soon as they sit in the Bhagavatam, asana, they are singing Jayarada Madhava. What is he going to say? I know what this fellow, I already heard dozen classes. He keeps repeating the same thing. Like that we feel. And some new speaker is coming from outside. People will catch their dhoti, come running. They'll be bringing a notebook, pen, everything, because another Prabhuji, Mata, some other place they are coming from. So this is called as Ati Parichayat Avajnat. That means familiarity breeds contempt. Actually, familiarity should breed love. It shouldn't breed contempt. When familiarity breeds contempt, when the outlook is material, then it breeds contempt. When outlook is spiritual, familiarity will breed Love. How familiarity breeds love, I will tell you. Let us take the example of Ramananda Raya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You will see how the familiarity breeds love in their case. I will show you. Just a minute. See here. Who is this? Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Raya. So some of you who may not be knowing about Ramananda Raya, I need to say a few words. Ramananda Raya was governor of Madras in those days. Actually, Madras means it was at that time Andhra and Tamil Nadu put together. That was called Madras in those days. Now Madras they call as Chennai now. And then Andhra also has become two now. Telangana and Andhra it has become now. Earlier it was all one province. And he was the head governor, Ramananda Raya. He was a simple Shudra family. But he was a pure devotee of Krishna. And he was a good friend of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. One day, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "My dear Lord, I had a very good friend of mine, Ramananda Raya. You know, he always used to speak about Krishna and Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. I was such a fool. I offended him, ridiculed him, because I was a Mayavadi. I was a dry impersonalist. Now that you have completely defeated me and made me a Krishna devotee, I am reflecting back. What a wonderful personality he was. I can tell you, you will really enjoy his association. You are going to South India to preach. You should meet Ramananda Raya one-on-one. Don't miss that. He lives in the Godavari bank. You should go and meet him. Although he is a very, very big personality, you can take my name, take my reference, and you spend time with him. And you come back and tell me what was your experience with him. See, we also do that right now. For example, you want to introduce a newcomer. He's going to some particular city. Hey, you're going to that city. You should go to the ISKCON temple and meet that particular devotee. And don't miss the opportunity. He's a very busy fellow, but still don't leave him. You have to, you send a letter to him or WhatsApp message to him that I have told you to meet. You should meet. And then when that person goes and meets him, you are super confident that if this fellow meets that fellow, this fellow has to become devotee. Because such a great soul he is, you have respect for the devotee. Then this fellow goes and meets him, and when he comes back, you ask him, how was the experience? He says, what can I say? What a person he was. Prabhuji, now I might tell Kantimala, everything has come, bead bag. He has made me a devotee. You've seen like that? Isn't it? We tell people, how many of you have done, you told somebody to meet some devotee? Yes? Correct, no? We do that. Therefore, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also said like that to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, definitely, why not? Now here Mahaprabhu is going now. You see. You all can repeat after me. Raya kahe sarvabhauma kare vritte jnana. Parokshe morahite haya savadhana. Tara kripaya pailo tomara darshana. Aji safala haila mora manushya janama. He's saying, Sarvabhauma kare vritte jnana. Oh, how wonderful it is, Lord Chaitanya, that he has remembered his servant. He said, who is the servant? He says, myself. I am his servant and he has remembered me. That means Ramananda Raya said, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is his master. This should be our mood also. Actually, see, wherever Gauranga Prabhu goes, he tells people that Radheshyam Prabhu inspired me. He speaks lies. One family were telling me that, Gauranga Prabhu told us, Prabhuji, that you only brought him to Krishna consciousness. And I laughed. I said, what is he saying? Me and him, we both were attending in 1991 His Wellness Bhakti-Rasamrita Maharaj's lecture. We are friends. Of course, in age he is B.Tech and I was in M.Tech. I may be a little more age than him, but we came at the same time. And then I told them that actually when he was reading Bhagavad Gita, I was reading small books of Prabhupada. Then when I started Bhagavad Gita, he went to Bhagavata. When I was reading Bhagavatam, he was reading CC. So in this way, in spiritual education, he was always ahead. Later on, in Govardhan Eco Village, Maharaj gave him a big responsibility, and he started the Bhaktivedanta Vidyapeetham. So I thought if I go to Vidyapeetham, I can get to hear from him also. So I went to Vidyapeetham, and when I was 48 years old, I went to Vidyapeetham. So Gauranga Prabhu was so happy because all the other boys were all 20 to 23 there, age group. And he told them, see, a 48-year-old man has come to study. So you guys should never be lazy for writing test. So he used me as a tool to make them write test. So what would happen? 2-3 months. See, every day we finish one chapter of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has 334 chapters. Bhagavatam. So every day we would finish, one chapter, 3 hours we would cover. Morning 10 to 1. And then afternoon 3 to 6 we had to do self-study. So some of the students will become a little tired after 2-3 months, Then our Gauranga Darshan Prabhu would put a call to Gauranga Prabhu, Prabhu, please come and inspire them. And Gauranga Prabhu would call to me, hey Radheshyam, be available. So, and then he would call all of them and say, have you ever seen anybody beyond the age of 45 ready to write test? This fellow is writing test every day. Why you can't do? Like that he would do. So I had very good association there. Then I had gone there. So when I told in some lecture that Gauranga Prabhu inspired me, they got confused. Who inspired whom? So actually we all should think like that. Always. Paro, svato vara means somebody is superior, you take inspiration from them. Like we have a head pujari in Pune, one Rupa Goswami Prabhu. He came to Krishna consciousness in 1987. And I came in 1991 I came. So I respect him because he is my senior. And now he may not be a very highly educated devotee. He comes from a village, he's simple. And he respects me because I am president of the Pune temple. So he has reason to respect me that whatever president says, that is final. I will not make independent decision like that, he will say. And what I will tell people, I will not make independent decision because he is the head pujari and he is senior to me. I will talk to him and say. So people will come and tell me that, Prabhuji, both of you are saying that you will do others what other fellow says. Now we don't know who is going to say what. You are telling him, he is telling you. Then we both used to meet. So I will tell him, Prabhu, if you want this, you can go ahead with that. Then he will ask me, are you really pleased with me or not? So then after we confirm, then we used to tell the people. Actually in Vaishnava circle, you have always some excuse to respect other Vaishnavas. Either they are more senior to you, you can respect. Or that person may say, I may be senior, but he is more knowledgeable, so I respect him. Or he is a senior, he is in the position of authority. Say one of you, your junior may be given a leading role in a festival management committee and you may have to report to him. It has happened anytime? Can it happen or not? It can happen. So we have to respect them for the authority they hold. So here also you find, he is saying, Sarvoma kare britya jnana, paroksheha mora hite haya savadan. Just see how wonderful my friend is. That although he is geographically far away, he is thinking of my welfare. Just see his good heart. Like that he is telling. Tara kripaya payanu tomara darshan. By my friend Sarvam Bhattacharya's connection I had with him, because of that, because of his mercy, I am getting your darshan. Like that he is telling. Aji safala haila mora manushya janma, he is saying. Today my human form of life has become perfect. Sarvabhaume tomara kripa taraye chinha. Asprishya sparshile haya tara premadina. Kaha tumi sakshat Ishvara Narayana. Kaha mui raja sevi vishayi shudradama. He is saying, Sarvabhaume tomara kripa tare chan. Because you love Sarvam Bhattacharya so intimately, when you embrace me, actually because of your attachment to him, you are embracing me. Like that he is telling. Just like, for example, say if any of you have a sister, then the sister's child you see, you may catch the sister's child and tightly embrace, because you have affection for your sister. Correct, no? Because you see the child as extension of your sister, so you show affection to the child also. Correct, no? In the same manner he is saying that actually I am Asprishya. Asprishya means what? Untouchable. I am a Shudra, I am a governor of Madras, I am a politician. Asprishya, Sparshile, but you have touched me and embraced me. I am shocked because you are a sannyasi, you are a great personality. And And Tara Premadina, you have become controlled by the love of Sarvabhattacharya for you. Prema Adina, you have become Adina to his Prema. Therefore you have embraced me. Like that he is saying. See how mature he is. Kahan tui, where you are. You are Sakshat Ishwara Narayana. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kahan mui, who am I? Rajasevi Vishayi Shudra Adama. I am a political man and I am a sense gratifier and I am a fallen Shudra. Like that he is telling. So how humble he is, considering himself insignificant, and how much he is glorifying his friend Sarvabhattacharya. How much is he glorifying Lord Chaitanya? Amanistarite tomar yihagamana Paramadayalu tumi patita pavana Amanistarite tomar yihagamana. You have come here to deliver me. That is your kindness. Paramadayalu tumi. You are very, very merciful. Patita pavana. I am so fortunate that you are a deliverer of the fallen. And you are the Patita Pavan and I am Patita. Nice combination. So you have come to deliver me. Therefore we sing, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagat Sam Sare Patita Pavana Hetu Tavayavatar Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Vayar. He's saying, you are a Patita Pavan and there is no one more fallen than me. Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Vyar. My dear Lord, you will nowhere get a fellow like me. I am first class candidate for you. First class fallen soul. Others may be little fallen, not as much fallen as me, he is saying. But if you really want to get a high quality fallen fellow, most fallen fellow, I am the right person. That's another very nice song. Somebody can play Mridanga. Gauranga Karuna Karo Dinahina Jane Mosama Patita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane Gauranga Karuna Karo Dinahina Jane Patita Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane Dante Trina Dhare Gaura Daki hai tomar Kripa kare aisa amar Hridaya mandire Hare Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Rase Ranu Das Prarthana Karo Ye Sada Narottama Das Yadi daya na koribe patita dekhiya patita pavana tama kisare lagya is saying, you know, your name is Patita Pavan, but if you don't deliver a fallen person like me, then how will your name become proven? Huh? That is saying. So therefore here also is saying, Amanistarite tomari agamana Paramadayalu tumi Patita Pavana हमार संगे ब्राह्मणादि सहस्रेक जना तुम्हार दर्शने सवार द्रवीभूत मन कृष्ण कृष्ण नाम सुनि सवार वदने सवार अंग पुलकित अश्रुनयने. See, he is the governor of Madras, so naturally when he comes for bathing in the morning in the Godavari, there are 1,000 people are accompanying him. And many musicians are also, playing the instruments, and Brahmanas are chanting the Vedic mantras, and some people are carrying his dress and other things. And that's how the kings had a very royal, grand treatment. So then he will, when he's taking bath also, he will be hearing songs and other things. Taking the bath, and he comes out, then afterward they'll give him the dress, he will wear the dress. So here along with him, 1,000 Brahmanas have come. He's saying, Amara Sangye Brahmanadi Sahasra Ekajan. Brahmanadi means along with Brahmanas, some soldiers, some other ministers, everybody is accompanying him. It's like like for example, a chief minister or a prime minister, that kind of post he was holding. Tomara darshane sabara dravibhutamana. when they saw your sight, my Lord, Chaitanya, immediately their hearts have become molten, melted heart. So from their mouths I am seeing Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. They are actually chanting in great ecstasy. You will find when one's bhakti is awakened, then one chants Krishna, 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 He. Boliye Krishna, 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 He. Krishna, 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 He. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Like this, a person's heart will ring with the holy name when they come across great devotees. Like when we were in the college days, we would go to the temple, the Chowbara temple, and Paramahansa Radhanath Maharaj will be doing kirtan. So very beautiful tunes he would sing. He would be dancing and there would be tears in the eyes sometimes. We would wonder. But later on when I read Bhakti Samrat Sindhu, I got one information there that even though we have a lot of impurities in our heart, when great devotees sing the holy name, there is something called as Ratyabhas, which means the devotion from their heart comes out like waves and attacks us. And that evokes spiritual feelings momentarily. And we may tend to think that we have become pure devotees. We haven't become pure devotees, but great devotees, our devotion attacks us and produces tears. And then after the kirtan is over, dancing is over, prasad is over, you go back, then again we are back to square A. Isn't it? You can see that. But certainly it is not useless because that experience gives you conviction in spiritual life. It gives you determination. It gives you higher taste. It gives you a longing to again go back to devotional service again and take the path of spiritual life more seriously. Correct? No? So, therefore, these Brahmanas were not pure devotees. He is saying, Amara Sangya Brahmana Sahasreka Jan they have come. But Tomara Darshane Sabar, Dravibhutavan, their hearts have become melted. And the result of their hearts melting is what? They all are chanting what names? Krishna, Krishna, Nama Shini, Sabara Vadane. All of them are chanting. That goes to show that Sabara Anga Pulakita Ashrunayane. Tears are coming in their eyes and their hair is standing on end. Ashta Satvika Vikara is happening in their bodies, he is saying. Now Lord Chaitanya is going to speak for his turn. Hear what he says. Prabhu kahe tumi maha bhagavatottama Tomara darshane sabar drava hailamana. Hey Ramanand Rai, what are you talking? You are going on glorifying me. You are a Mahabhagavat devotee. Therefore, Tomara darshane, by taking your darshan, all these people's hearts have become melted. Not by taking my darshan. It is whose influence? Your influence is telling. Anyera ki kata vimayavadi sannyasi. Amiha tomara sparshe Krishna preme bhasi. What else can be the truth? Because I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. I have taken Diksha in the Bharati Sampradaya from Keshav Bharati. So I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. But even though I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, I am Nirvesha Shivadi. Amiha Tomar Sparshe, by your touch, even I am floating in Krishna conscious bliss. If you can influence someone like me, why can't these other Brahmanas be influenced? Like that he is telling. Is it true? No, he is not a Mayavadi sannyasi. At that time, the Mayavadis were very famous and prominent. So Mahaprabhu purposely took connection in the Mayavadi Sampradaya so that he will get a chance to reach out to the people. But actually Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So, and then he is saying, ये जाने कठिन मोर हृदय शोधिते सार्वभौम कहिले तुम्हारे मिलिते. Actually, my heart, it was very, very hard like a stone. And Tharun Bhattacharya told me that, don't worry, your hard heart will be softened and it will be purified if you associate with Ramananda Rai. Like that is saying. Therefore, he has sent me to you to get my heart cleansed and purified and softened. For that, yes, you are the doctor and somebody has recommended me to go to a doctor to cure my disease of hard-heartedness due to Mayavada. He's saying. Ye mata duhe stuti kare duhara guna. Duhe duhara darshane anandita mana. In this way, both of them were praising one another genuinely, inoffensively and innocently, and there was not even an iota of any flattery. There was no cheating. Sometimes people say, Prabhu, you are a pure devotee. People say like that. Why pure devotee? Because I want gulab jamun from you. Because you are only serving gulab jamun. Give me 2 more. So it was not a flattery. It was actually coming from the heart. Duhen duhar darshane ananditamana. Both felt great bliss in seeing each other. So actually, many of us, when we see the other Vaishnavas, we may offer obeisances to them out of etiquette. That is also good, but that is not enough. What we feel for each other is very important. When we see from a distance a Vaishnava, when you look at a Vaishnava, what is the first thought comes? Hare, this fellow has come, he will take my time. Do we feel like that? Or we feel, oh, you are very delighted to see the Vaishnavas when you see each other. Actually, we can only feel such delight if we become innocent and pure and simple. When I was giving one class somewhere, one Mataji asked a question, Prabhuji, how can we get back our early day innocence? Now we have become very crooked now. Years have passed. And why have we become crooked and how we can become innocent? That is a good question. We have become crooked because of offensive mentality and sinful activities. So the sins and offenses make us crooked and mischievous and sarcastic and sweet-talking on face, bad-mouthing on back, and all those things happens. So we should follow the 4 regulative principles strictly, and we also should stop offending Vaishnavas and profusely glorify Krishna from the Shastras, and also, as I told you, without quarreling with devotees and without fault-finding in devotees and blaspheming devotees, one should render services and chant the holy name inoffensively. When by doing these things, the early day innocence will come back. So, in this way, you find they were glorifying one another like this. And they were feeling anandita mana. They felt great bliss seeing each other's darshan. Rai kahe iha ami kichu nahi jani. Tumi ekao se kahe ami vani. तुम्हार शिक्षाय पढ़िए न शुक पाठ साक्षात ईश्वर तुम्ही के बुझे तुम्हारा नाट. Yeah, आम्ही किछु न जानी. Oh, my dear Lord, I don't know anything. तुम्हें कहो से कही आम्ही वाणी. Whatever you will make me speak, that's all I can speak. How is it like? He's saying, तुम्हारा शिक्षाय पढ़ी ये न शुक पाठ. You will speak and I will just repeat like a parrot. If you teach a parrot, say Hare Krishna, he will say Hare Krishna. Isn't it? So, whatever I have heard from you, learned from you, that's all I can repeat. Sakshat Ishwara to me. You are Sakshat Krishna. Ke bujhe tumhara naat. Why are you doing this drama with me? Praising me like this. I don't feel comfortable. You are praising me. I am an insignificant personality. See, who is Ramananda Rai? Ramananda Rai is Arjuna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Sometimes this Krishna has a tendency to behave in very amazing ways. Like, for example, when he goes to the forest of Vrindavan, he is telling Balram, Bhaiya, see, the cuckoos are cooing and welcoming you. The peacocks are dancing and welcoming you. The deers are showing love-laden glances to welcome you. The trees are extending their branches, giving flowers and fruits to you. Please pluck those flowers, wear it in your turban, pluck those fruits and eat them. So they will be very happy. In this way, he is praising Balaram. Balaram is just watching and listening. Hare Krishna is saying. Actually, all these creatures in forest, are they giving to Balaram or Krishna? Krishna. Their relationship is with Krishna only. But Krishna is, sometimes you go to somebody's home, they will say, you will ask them, can I sit here? This is your home. You can sit wherever you want. No, they say like that. You see, like that Krishna is speaking to Balaram. Krishna is a very amazing personality. Like you see, when one day Narada came and gave Krishna one parijata flower. And Krishna said, Rukmini Satyabhama Abhyam Sahitam Krishna Mashre, we say, Rukmini Satyabhama, both are standing on either side. Krishna told him, see, there are two queens standing with me and you're giving me one flower. And then he asked Narada, to whom should I give this? Narada said, that is not my problem, it's your problem. So Krishna was wondering what to do. So he looked at both of them, then he gave it to Rukmini. Then Satyabhama asked, that means, my dear Lord, you don't like me? So you didn't give me. Lord said, no. I have given her one flower, I am going to give you one full tree. So you will have thousands of flowers. She said, that's a good deal, she said. And then later on, Krishna once called Satyabhama and said, now I am planning to go to heaven. So there I am thinking of plucking a parijata flower plant and bringing for you. So do you want me to bring it for you or do you want to accompany me? He asked her. She said, it's a good opportunity. I will also accompany you. Then in the Garuda, he brought the Garuda and Krishna Satyabhama, both of them sat. And he said, before going to heaven, there is one very important business to be done. So you come with me. So he took her to Pragjyotishpur. Pragjyotishpur, there was Bhaumasura living. See, this Bhaumasura was born from Bhumi, Bhumi Devi. And the Bhumi Devi is an expansion of Satyabhama. So Lord has three Shaktis, you may be knowing. Bhudevi, Sridevi and Neela Devi, correct, no? So Bhudevi is an expansion of Satyabhama. And Krishna has a reason why he took Satyabhama there. So when Krishna crossed the moat means the lake around the palace, where there are infested with the crocodiles, man-eating crocodiles. Of course, Krishna didn't have to cross the lake, he just flew over it. He came in a plane of Garuda. And then there were also walls with electrified walls also. Barbed wires and electrified walls. If anybody touches it, they'll get a shock. So all this fellow had done. Who? Bhaumasura. And he had one Mura demon also. Krishna first entered straight into the palace compound and he attacked the Mura demon and finished him. So he came to be called as Murari. Yeah. And after that, many other warriors came to fight. So then immediately Bhaumasura came out with a big army. When he started sending volleys of arrows on Krishna, and Krishna and Satyabhama were sitting on the Garuda, and Krishna was not able to withstand it. And Satyabhama was asking, what are you doing? Attack him. So why Krishna didn't attack Bhaumasura? He was waiting. Because in case Krishna kills Bhaumasura, Satyabhama will raise a big objection because he is son of Bhudevi, who is expansion of Satyabhama. And Krishna said, my problem is he has a connection to you, therefore I was thinking, should I attack him? What do you say? She said, I am giving you permission to attack now, she said. Krishna said, with your permission, I'll kill him now. Okay. So that tomorrow you won't complain to me. Therefore he took her. See, many times if you want something, instead of you saying that I want this, you create a situation where your wife will want it. And then tell the wife, I obediently will follow what you say. That's what he did. Because if she wants it, nobody can stop it, including you also. How I know this technique? Of course, I have 3 sisters also, I know. But apart from that, I'll tell you how I learned this. One day I was going in the train distributing books. I gave the books to a man. And he liked the Bhagavad Gita and he wanted to buy it. He asked his wife, can we take this? She said, no, nothing doing, we don't want. She said, why? You have 2 big luggages and I have 2 luggage. We have a baby also. How can we carry all these things? I told this man, don't worry, I will push this book into your luggage. I said, but she said, no, luggage will become more heavy. I said, you will be heavy with God, You are carrying God only with you. Bhagavata is non-different from Krishna. I tried all those things. She said, nothing doing. So I could not somehow convince this couple. Then I went ahead to the next two bogies. Now I changed my technique. Instead of showing Bhagavata to man, I showed to the wife. And they also had similar luggage. Nowadays people carry such a huge luggages, this wheel bag. They carry, you can even put them inside also, I think. Such a big bags you carry, you see, no? So they were also having big luggage. But when I gave it to my wife, saw that, and she liked it. Colorful pictures, she liked it very much. Then she kept it inside the bag and she told the husband, pay the money. She said. And that fellow paid the money. Because when a wife says, husband will obey. Same thing with Radharani says, then Krishna will accept us, correct, no? So now coming back to this pastime of Satyabhama, Satyabhama told Krishna, attack him now. Then Krishna attacked that fellow, Bhaumasura. Then he took, the Varuna's umbrella and Aditi's kundal. Then he went to the heavenly planets, and then on the way back he gave her Parijata. He gave. It is a beautiful pastime, it is. So, here he is saying that, Tomara sikshaya padi yena shukapat. I am simply like a parrot, my Lord. Whatever you make me speak, I speak. Sakshat. I told you that Krishna and Arjuna, correct, no? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna and Ramandra is Arjuna. It's like, Krishna always puts his devotees at a higher pedestal than him. He's putting Arjuna on the back and he's driving his chariot. Here also he's praising his devotee. He derives some special delight in teasing the devotees, because sometimes when he, like he was teasing Rukmini once, you know that? She dropped her, that charmer, when he was teasing Rukmini. So, Krishna is a mischievous Lord. So he was playful like this sometimes. So, sometimes he praises the devotee more than what the devotee is. Actually, he only empowers the devotee. And then he praises the devotee like anything. Like for example, imagine your father and son are fighting a battle, and father, dhadal, he falls, and the son is sitting on the belly of the father and says, Papa, I have defeated you now. And he says, you are very powerful. You are like Mike Tyson, who am I? So, Lord agrees to be defeated by the love of the devotee, and he praises the devotee. Therefore, the devotee feels uncomfortable. Here. And then he is saying, Hridaye prerana kara jihvaya kaho vani ki kahiye bhala manda kichui nahi jani. You are giving inspiration in my heart, and you are making my tongue vibrate vibrate and speak some nice things. But ki kahiye bhala manda kichui nahi jani. I don't know what is good, what is bad. I don't even know what is coming out of my mouth. You are making me speak, he is saying. Prabhu kahe mayavadi amita sannyasi bhakti tattva nahi jani mayavade bhasi. I don't know any bhakti tattva, my dear Ramandra. I am a mayavad sannyasi. Sarvabhauma sangye mora mana nirmala haila. By the association of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, my heart became purified, he's saying. Whose heart became purified, everybody knows. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi, he purified him, and he's saying in his association, I got purified. Actually, why great devotees speak like this? Because what Mahaprabhu is saying is not just joking, but seriously they feel that because if Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya didn't come in my life, I would not have got so much chance to glorify Krishna. If I didn't glorify Krishna so much, I would not have become more purified. Therefore, even the speaker should be grateful to audience also. Those who are giving you an opportunity to glorify the Lord. Sarvabhauma sangye mora mana nirmala haila Krishna bhakti tattva kaha tahare puchila. So I asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, can you please teach me about Krishna bhakti tattva? I asked him. So what he said? Te ho kahe ami nahi jani Krishna katha Sabe Ramananda jane teho nahi ye tha. But Bhattacharya told me that I don't know any Krishna Katha, but there is one person whose name is Rahamandra. He knows Krishna Katha very well, but unfortunately he is not here in Odisha now. He is in South India, he said. He is in Madras. Tomara tai aila, tomara mahima shuniya. Tume more stuti kara, sannyasi janiya. I have come here to associate with you, having heard of your mahima, your glory and influence, my dear Ramandra. Tumi more stuti kara. You are praising me as a sannyasi and depriving me of your association. Don't do this. Keba vipra keba nyasi shudra ke nanai. Ye Krishna tattva veta se guru haya. Whether you are a Brahmana, you are a sannyasi, you are a Shudra, it hardly matters. Whoever you may be, anybody who knows Krishna Tattva, he is a guru. So you are a guru, he's saying. Yadyapi raya premi mahabhagavate taramana Krishna maya nare achadite tatapi prabhuraye cha parama prabala Jani le haraye ramana haila talamala. Ramandrai was a Premi Bhakta, loving servitor and Mahabhagavad devotee. Taramana Krishna Maya Nare Acharita. Never Maya can cover his heart to think that Mahaprabhu is an ordinary person. He very clearly knew that Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna. And Mahaprabhu is in whose bhava? And Ramandra is in Vishaka Bhava. So it's like meeting of, Radharani and Vishaka also. Or it is like meeting of Radha Krishna with Vishaka also. It is also like meeting of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meeting Arjuna also. Krishna meeting Arjuna also. It's like that. He clearly knew Lord's position. Tatapi Prabhura Icha Parama Prabhala. The desire of Lord Chaitanya to hear from Ramandra was so strong. When Ramandra understood that now he is going to question me, I have to answer. So, mana haila talamala. He felt little uneasy. Like one day I went to my spiritual master's room with 3-4 other devotees. Maharaj asked, what's your opinion, Radheshyam Prabhu, about this? I said, Maharaj, whatever is your opinion is my opinion. Then Maharaj said, that is all right. What is your personal opinion? He asked. I said, Maharaj, I have no opinion. I said. Then one senior devotee said, hey, you should not say like this. If Guru is asking your opinion, then you should express. Then I said, Prabhu, what if my opinion is different from his opinion? How can I express that? He said, no. You can express, he will not accept it anyway. But you can, nothing, if he is asking, you should experience. Maharaj actually will ask all of us just to give us some encouragement. Finally, he will tell what to do. He said. So, but why I am saying in the same manner, so I spoke of whatever is to be spoken, but we feel little uneasy to tell Guru that this is what is my feel. Correct, no? So talamala you feel. You feel some uneasiness if somebody asks you. So he also felt, how can I teach Lord Chaitanya? But he thought, because Mahaprabhu is insisting, he is determined today, I have to satisfy him somehow. So for his pleasure I will do. Actually, there are some devotees in Pune who will never agree to give Bhagavatam class if I am in station in Pune. They will say, oh, Radheshyam Prabhu is sitting, because he is very attentively, he will listen and later on give some feedback. And I will always find their name only when I am out of the temple. So sometime I will say I am out and suddenly I will appear in front of them. So they will feel talamala. And then he is saying, Raya kahe ami nata tumi sutradhara. Ye mata nachavate che chahi nachi bara. Mor jihva veena yantra tumi veena dhari. Tomara mane ye uthe tata uchchari. See, Ami Nata, Tumi Sutradhar. I am a drama actor and you are the director. So who is director? Chaitanya. And he is saying, I am an actor. That means the Sutradhar makes you act and you act according to his will and wish. Correct, no? Hey mata nachao, taiche chahe nachi bar. You, whatever way you want me to dance on the stage, I am simply a puppet in your hands. Like Prabhupada also said that, no? Nachao, mate, nachao, like that he said, oh my dear Lord, make me dance. Kashtera putaliyata, nachao samate. I am simply like a wooden doll. Make me dance the way you want when I go to America. He said, when he landed in Boston, he said that, my dear Lord, I am a puppet in your hands. And then another example he is giving. I am like a veena yantra and you are like a veena dari. So will you glorify a veena or a player of veena? Why? Because veena in and of itself is not glorious, but somebody plays very beautifully. Veena, then you will appreciate the player. So he's saying, you are a veena player, I am a veena. Tomara mane yehi utte tathai uchari. Whatever desires arise in your mind, you will make me speak and I will speak that. Like that he is saying. So, in this way, they both had a very wonderful... So, please repeat this. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. You agree, Mahaprabhu and Ramandra felt mutual satisfaction and happiness, correct? And thus by encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions? 5 minutes you can take. Yes, Prabhupada. Should I give a mic? Okay.
Radheshyam Prabhu, thank you so much for visiting ISV and thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you.
The question I had was, so, we have Advaita Acharya as a combination of Sadashiv and Vishnu, and so is Ramananda Rai. So can you explain a little bit more behind their tattva, that how can they be a combination of...
See, what is this combination? Advaita Acharya Prabhu is Mahavishnu in the mood of Sadashiva. Actually, if you read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that when Vishnu is glancing at material nature, there is one personality who transports the jivas from Vishnu to Devi. And that personality is Advaita Acharya. So, he is actually like a Sadashiva. Sadashiva and Mahavishnu come at the same time. They come. So, Sadashiva is also spiritual. And from Sadashiva comes 11 Rudras who enter into the material nature, and later on they all again go back into Sadashiva again. Go like that. So, Sadashiva's highlight is compassion. So, Advaita Acharya, therefore, he is compassionate towards the jivas. So, he is evoking the presence of, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, one is the personality, other one is the mood. You say, like for example, Ramandra is actually Arjuna in the bhava of Vishaka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. But they were so much in the mood of that personality, like it is said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would be scratching the ground with his nails, and the tears would be like continuous stream, like Yamuna and Ganga will be flowing from his eyes. He was had become like Radharani. That is mentioned. One place there was one toll naka, So Mahaprabhu's associates were behind there. So Mahaprabhu was alone when he was crossing that. In those days, Mughals were ruling, no? So the toll officer asked, are you alone or somebody else also with you? And Mahaprabhu said, yes, in this morbid world, I am all alone, he said. And then immediately tears came from his eyes. He was in the mood of Radharani, that Krishna has left me and he has gone out of Vrindavan. And his influence was so powerful that toll officer started crying. He immediately became devotee by Mahaprabhu's influence. You can see that. So he was in such a mood of Radharani. So sometimes Mahaprabhu is called as Radharani only, but he is Krishna, the mood of Radharani. Similarly, each personality has one personality, one bhava, the combination we say. Is it clear? Thank you. Behind?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the nice class. I had a question, like you very nicely explained about Sudama's pastime, how Krishna and Sudama had their friendship. And when they were going in the forest and when they had the storm was there, they were, in one hand they were holding the firewood, and the other hand they were holding each other's.
Yeah.
So in our practical life, how, when we have so many services and so many missionary activities to do?
We have to plan to take out time for this. For example, many Bhakti Vriksha leaders conduct programs for juniors. But there has to be a forum where they decide to come with each other, which most leaders are not ready to take out time. They say, I have no time, they say. Because they are all like an apex in a pyramid. Here one apex, another apex, third apex. So this Sri Ravi Shankar, this Art of Living people, they have, in cities they call as an apex, they call. So the apex has 4 people, it seems, in the smaller cities, and bigger cities they have more numbers. So these apex members have to come monthly once, and the founder, Sri himself, he meets all the apex leaders once in a month, and they have 4-day training program they have. So the leaders are taking out how many days in a month? 4 days, and he comes for 1 or 2 days. Other 1 or 2 days they have other activities. But the leaders have made up their mind that we will come together for 4 days, so that rest 26 days of the month we can preach and do their things like that. So in our life also, we can see for leaders, there has to be some training programs where, you get to spend. That's why Vaisheshika Prabhu now he's taking yatra now. Correct, no? Now I heard that he has started one youth yatra also now. One youth yatra in December last week, January first week, I think, and then again one more yatra for the congregation devotees also. So the idea is the disciples get to spend time with spiritual master more closely, get that nourishment and training by closely. How do we associate with the spiritual master? By serving and observing, both. So you observe how he answers the questions, how he deals with different types of people, how in difficult situations he exhibits integrity and maturity and character, that you can observe the behavior. Therefore we read Prabhupada's books, Leela books and all. Why? Because you exactly understand how Prabhupada dealt with different people and situations, correct? No? So you have to observe, and you also have to get a chance to serve also. Serving, there are 2 ways of serving. One is physically serving by cooking prasad, or driving a car, or washing the clothes. These are personal Vapu service. Then there is a Vani service, taking some instruction from the Guru for, say, doing some seva. You may be geographically far away, but you can do some service to Guru. When Guru requests you, please do this for me. So that is Vani seva. So Vani seva, Vapu seva is serving, and observing can be done, like, disciples observed Prabhupada in morning walks, in Prabhupada conversations, and Prabhupada dealing with atheistic scientists. One day in LA, I think LA, I don't know which temple was it, Prabhupada was sitting. So some professors had come, 2-3 scientists had come. So then the devotees were, in the top gallery. They were all seeing, watching from there. They would be talking to each other. See, Prabhupada is going to smash this fellow. He's going to be finished. So, and the president of the temple saw the devotees are hanging around in the top and watching below. Then he immediately sent an instruction, hey, all of you guys go inside. Don't come. Prabhupada said, why are you sending them inside? Let them watch. Prabhupada said, let them watch and learn. If they watch me, how I give arguments to the atheistic fellows, then tomorrow they will also know how to handle atheistic fellows. They should be given freedom to watch, no problem. He said. So disciples should observe the great devotees, how they deal in different situations. So that observation is not only seeing with eyes, it is also hearing with ears and seeing their dealings and everything. So serving and observing one should do, and therefore the leaders should take out some time with each other and with Guru also. So this is 2 different things I am talking. One is, the Guru can give us spiritual strength, and the peers can give us encouragement. We need both. Correct, no? Because the peer association gives you the impetus to stay in Krishna consciousness and grow in Krishna consciousness by mutually inspiring one another. If you have seen the, what do you call it? Let me check whether I have it. Just 1 minute. Let me check it. I have it here. I got it here. I'll just show you this. See, you're seeing this. See, teamwork and cooperation among the geese, you will see this. If you see these geese, they go in a V formation, you see? Why they go in a V formation? By flying in V formation, the whole flock increases the flight efficiency by how much? 71%. Can you imagine? So much efficiency they can increase. Instead of one bird flying alone. How many of you have seen geese flying like this? It is Krishna has given them intelligence, you see. The first lesson. Sharing the same direction and working as a team gets us to the destination quicker and helps ourselves accomplishments are greater. Which means, we all share the same direction because all devotees want to go back to Godhead. And by cooperating with one another and helping one another and appreciating the value of others' association, we can reach our destination easier, smoother and faster. Correct, no? Yeah. So we go in like that V formation. And then when a goose leaves the formation, what happens? He feels the resistance of the air and finds difficulties. Then immediately he'll come back quickly, back to the formation. Because, when you go together, it is more easy, encouraging one another. Correct, no? So this is the second one. By staying in tune and united, besides those who are going in the same direction, the efforts will be less. Everyone will be inclined to accept and give help. The second lesson. When we leave the association of devotees and try to practice Krishna consciousness, see, this fellow has become morose now. Why the devotee spoke about me like this, like that he's thinking. Because we cannot tolerate the different natures of devotees. Then we make our progress in Krishna consciousness difficult, isn't it? One Mataji, she left that temple, and when Prabhupada came to the city, she sent a news to Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, I am not staying in the temple with devotees nowadays. I had a problem with these ladies. Prabhupada said, why are you so foolish? Just because you had a little problem with devotees, you are leaving the company of devotees. It's very dangerous. Leaving devotees is very dangerous because tomorrow Maya can easily, trap you if you are alone, he said. So immediately, if you understand the value of Vaishnavas and learn to tolerate small differences and inconveniences in our path back to Godhead, then all devotees will be inclined to accept and give help. One Swami in ISKCON, he wrote a poem. He said, in my early days when I came to ISKCON, the first day I came to temple, I lost my shoes. He read. And the same day when I moved into the ashram, I lost my gamsha, the towel. Like that he says. And then, the next week, I kept a plate of prasadam below my locker. When I took bath and came, the plate was missing. And he said, my only glory is I never left the devotees. Therefore, I am still blissfully going on in devotional service. He said, there will be problems. Then all devotees will be inclined to give you and accept help. When the leader goose gets tired of flying, what he does? He goes to the end of the formation, V formation, while another goose takes lead. That means sometimes some of the people get old, some of the Prabhujis, Matajis. Then they can also have successors to give them the task, and then they can relax for some time. Relax means they can do reading, chanting, they will have some time for themselves. Successful bosses learn from people, including their employees. You can even learn from your younger devotees also, because like myself now, I am I am from the 90s. So nowadays, so many technological changes have come. The follow-up systems and everything, which are new to me, because I am not so much tech savvy. So then we should not mind taking help from other younger ones. I have a traveling assistant with me, sitting behind, Gopal Pran Prabhu. He's very good in coordinating my travels with various people all over, so I don't have to worry. And he is a tech savvy fellow. Whatever is to be done, he knows what to do. So we can. So, you see, to share the leadership, there must be mutual respect between us all the time. Gathering our abilities, talents, resources, and combining our faculties, we can share the hardest tasks also. If we share and work together, even the leaders should be like this, working together. Now, when the goose are flying, they have a tendency to quack. How many of you heard geese quack? Recently, I observed in America, the goose are flying, they quack. You've seen that? Quack, quack. So what is the meaning of that? They encourage the other goose who are in the front, the ones in the front. So, in the same manner, a timely word of encouragement always motivates, helps, and strengthens. It produces the best of benefits. Because Vaisheshwar is known for encouraging everybody, right? Yes. The cheerful smile and the confidence he gives, isn't it? Actually, most people come for that. They know that I will do something to please him, He gives, even if you do little also, he is very encouraging. See, if we bond together and support each other, if we make true spirit of teamwork, regardless of our differences, we can rise to meet our challenge. Life will be easier, passing of years will be more fulfilling. We can cooperate in that spirit for pleasing Prabhupada and Guru and Gauranga. Yeah, let us be like the geese and fly our way back to Godhead. Yeah. So you got it? So you answered your question, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think it's getting late. I'm supposed to finish by 10, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Radheshyam Prabhu, thank you so much for taking time. You travel all over the world. You counsel so many devotees. You help run so many temples. And you are incredibly busy. But we are so grateful that you took your time to come here and live and to give us the spiritual joy and nourishment. And we look forward to your visit very, very soon. So a big, big Haribol to Radheshyam Prabhu.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
You have to leave now?
Yes, I have to go for the next one. Thank you, Prabhupada. Take the wire.